What in the hell is going on inside this movie? Oh my goodness gracious, it's crazy. Timestamps below in the description box. Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Now we have Weapons, one of my most anticipated films of 2025. Just like most people, when I first saw the trailer for this, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see it, but I'm scared. This is being directed by Mr. Zach Cregger. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. If we scroll down and look at his filmography, he is responsible for Barbarian that came out in 2022. He also did Newsboys, The Gang Self Sucks, Wakuk Talk About Sketches, and The Civil War on Drugs. I've never heard or seen any of those other projects besides Barbarian. If you are a fan of his work, please let me know down in the comment section below. But when it comes to my expectations, they were super duper high, but I was still nervous because everybody was raving about how much they love Barbarian. I think it's even over like a 90-95% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I hated that movie, or at least the ending. I thought the beginning of it was amazing. When I was watching in the theaters, I remember saying to myself, this is so intense. This is going to be the best film of the year. Then the second act came and I was disappointed. And then the third act was just ridiculous. So I just wasn't on that bandwagon of Mr. Zach Cregger, but I was still excited about this movie. I mean, come on, how do 17 children just disappear in the middle of the night at the same time, never to be heard of again, running with their arms out, getting hit by clown faces like this is the Joker or something like that. I mean, I have to see this movie, but I'm a scary cat. I can do some scary stuff I can't. So before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film Weapons is all about. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at the exact same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. First thing that I loved about this film is it jumps right into the plot, it jumps right into the story, and does not waste any time. And also, in addition to that, it kind of tricks you with the tone. The music behind it is really unorthodox, in my opinion, especially given what happened and how to open up a film. I was saying to myself, whoa, I had my thoughts about what this movie was going to be going in, but the way this is starting out is kind of weird and I don't know how to take it all in. So the way that the film opened up, subverting my expectations, is really impressive because I just did not see that coming at all and was a great way to lock me in at the very beginning of the film. Another thing that I loved about this film is it is not told in a linear fashion where we just go from beginning to end. Another thing that I loved about this film is not told in a linear fashion from left to right, from beginning to end. No, you have one story being told repeatedly multiple times from many different perspectives, from many different people, from many different characters. And in that way, you get to know each character in your own unique way. And with that process, you get to know each character in a very unique way. And there were a few moments to where the story did get repetitive and the events will overlap, but that's just a little bit. It wasn't for the whole duration or a lengthy amount of time. After the repeats, you do get those new perspectives, and it always adds something fresh to open up your mind onto what's possible and how all these events took place. Now, I did forget to tell you the runtime of this film. It does come in at 2 hours and 8 minutes, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. And it's also been described as a psychological horror and mystery. And all those are very, very accurate. One description they left out was comedy. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I laughed so many times in this film. And actually, I don't want to say I laughed a lot. I did laugh, but it wasn't all the way through the film. There were a good 3 or 4 moments to where I did laugh out loud, and so did the audience. Everybody in the auditorium was laughing with me, just from the way that certain characters were reacting to certain situations they're in. We all know that when you can relate to something and or when something is true, it's funny, like, oh man, I've been there before. And in this film, there are a number of moments like that. If I was in their shoes, I would have reacted the same way. I mean, there's a bunch of crazy semi-supernatural things going on, or at least alleged, or that's what everyone thinks. And so there's going to be some kooky, spooky, scary, frightening things here and there, and the way that certain characters reacted to it, and you can't help yourself. You're going to laugh. You're going to relate. It's just another great way to help you attach yourself to some of the characters. And when it does come down to the characters, Josh Brolin is one of the leads in this film, and he is my favorite. He was one of the characters I was referring to as far as laughing and being able to relate. For the most part, I would be doing everything that he was doing in this film. One of his children is missing. He's not giving up. He wants answers. What loving parent wouldn't want answers? And so the way he strives in this film, puts his foot forward, I'm down with him. I really did like him a lot. As far as Julia Garner's character, she was also Shia LaBeouf's Silver Surfer in the In Theaters Now Fantastic Four movie. She was fine as far as her acting, but I did not like her. But I was still rooting for her, and that's amazing that the writers and directors can give you a character that you don't like, but you're still rooting for her or them because of the events that take place, and you want some type of justice. As far as her character is concerned, she was very insensitive to me. She was very selfish, didn't think about anyone but herself, and just did not know how to read the room properly. You are the teacher of this classroom, and all of your students disappear except for one. You have to be prepared to receive some type of smoke from the public. People are going to be mad at you. People are going to be upset. People are going to be frustrated, understandably so. And your reaction to all that was pretty piss poor, in my opinion. So I didn't really care for her character, but at the same time, I wanted her to survive. I wanted her to make it. I wanted her to win as far as trying to solve this puzzle, figuring out what the hell is going on. There are other characters in this film that did a great job as well, but Julia Garner and Josh Brolin are just the ones that I want to focus on. And to answer if this film is scary, that's kind of subjective, but it did scare me. You have your typical jump scares to where something can just randomly jump out of nowhere with a loud sound effect or music in the background, or the camera zoomed in on someone's face going like this, like some demon. You had a couple of those here and there, and yes, that did scare the crap out of me. I was like, oh shit, oh damn, stuff like that. But you also have lingering scary moments as well, something that I just made up, or I don't even know if that's a technical term or not. I doubt it, to where something is going on in the backdrop and you don't know what it is, but it doesn't cut away. You're just forced to stare at it, trying to make out what you're looking at. You may even zoom in a little bit, get to the edge of your seat, and you're like, what is that? And it just kind of gets closer and closer and closer and closer. And it's like, oh my gosh, what is this? I want to turn away, but if I do, I'm going to miss it. What is going on? This is so, when you're doing stuff like, they had a number of those scenes like that too, so where I'm just like, oh God, like I can't do it. This is too much. Yeah. So you had the jump scares. They were very fast, quick edited jump cuts, but then you also had those lingerings too. And also just a number of scary elements in between, scary aspects in between that I did appreciate that made me uncomfortable. And yes, let's talk about how uncomfortable you will be in this film. This is very, very gory. There is a decent amount of blood and body horror as well. Just, I don't even want to say that part right there, but you're going to turn away at least 2 or 3 times in this movie to where you're just like, I can't watch this. This is just too much. I have a soul. I have a spirit. I'm a good person. I'm a good man. I'm a good woman. This is just too much for my body right now. But what makes it crazy is when you turn away, which I did a couple of times, I was like, I can't sit here and watch this because y'all keep going over and over and over again. You can still hear it. You are forced to witness what is going on, either visually or audibly with your ears, and it's just like no escape. And it's like, oh my gosh, like stop it. Just some of the things that human beings were doing to other human beings in this film, it's just really, really unsettling, and again, makes for a good horror pick. And if the goal of this film were to send chills down your spine throughout your body and give you an amazing, thrilling, exhilarating theater experience, I mean, this film wins. There are moments to where you felt like you was trapped in someone else's dream, following them around like you're some investigative reporter trying to figure something out, not knowing if they know you're there or not, but you also know that they could see you at any time with a jump scare, and it scares you. Then you have this music going on in the background. It felt like you was trying to transition into heaven, but the door keeps moving away from you. And it's like, okay, why is this happening to me? Turns into a fever dream. That's how the film felt. Again, very uncomfortable, very unsettling. And then there are moments to where you actually are in somebody's dream, seeing what they see, experiencing what they experience, feel what they feel. And it's not a good thing, but again, makes for a great horror feature. I felt sorry for some of the characters. I really wanted them to make it. It's just sad with some of the things that are going on in this film. Even in the trailers, they say to yourself, there's some really messed up ways that people die in this film, and they are not lying. Guys, for the most part, I really did love this film. Now let me transition to some things that really didn't work for me. The first is with some of the characters that seem to be a complete lack of common sense. I don't understand why a certain police officer would not call for backup when he was going into a certain situation. I was sitting there like, what is wrong with you, dodo bird? Get on your radio, get on your phone, your walkie-talkie, whatever, and let somebody know, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm Brandon Keith Avery. Here's the address. I'm going in to investigate. If I don't come back, this is where I am. I mean, that's just common sense right there. I mean, like, why wouldn't you do that? Other instances in this movie to where I felt like characters had the ability to also pick up their phone and call 911. Hey, I'm in danger. This person is trying to get me. Please send help. Or I'm over here. Like, why are you not doing that? Doesn't make any sense to me. Another thing that I did not like is, of course, there is an investigation that is going on, that is taking place within this film to figure out what is going on, to figure out what happened to the children. Do they figure out what happened to the children and how these events took place? There was one group of people that did figure it out, and I accept that, but there was another group of people that was not able to figure it out. Completely unrealistic. I just... With me, with no training, I think I could have possibly put this. I'm not saying that I'm a genius over here and I would have figured it out, but the fact that one group was able to figure it out over another and they had all the resources in the group that figured it out did not. Come on. Come on. And the last thing that I really didn't care for in this film is, while this is being told from multiple perspectives, some of the viewpoints, the perspectives, the vantage points were unnecessary. They were entertaining, but after it's all said and done, I was saying to myself, did we really need to see that to flesh out the story? Did it make it better? And they could have shaved off a good 10 or 15 minutes or so, or at least 5 minutes. Let's say 5 to 10 minutes. That just would have made everything flow much smoother. But other than that, I have no complaints. Guys, this is a solid film right here. Easily one of the better films that I've seen in 2025. It is spooky, it is scary, it is exciting, it is funny, it is frightening, it is thrilling. Seriously, it delivers. There are not too many times to where I can go into a film with high expectations and those expectations are met. I don't want to say it exceeded my expectations, especially because I had a few nitpicks here and there that I just mentioned. But it's a great film, guys. I think you should go see it. Go see it as soon as you can. Try to go into it with knowing as little as possible. I will give my rating for this movie at the very end of the video. But for now, guys, that is just my opinion. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought about the movie and also my review. Then give me another thumbs up if you didn't for the first time. Subscribe to the channel and share the video. That would really help me out a ton. And again, guys, thank you for watching. So if I had to rate Weapons out of a 1 out of 10, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Yes, an 8.5 out of 10. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace.